Well, great afternoon. I did another pulled cards on another artist that died way too early, Janis Joplin. And I'll show you what I got. That above it all, she was very open-hearted. Okay. I think she just felt things so deeply, as you could hear by her music, and of course she sang a lot of soul type of music, blues types of music. And in the center of it we had judgment, though. She felt very judged, and underneath of it the foundation creating different stories that happened. One about her death, and I think also she wanted to end stories that they were telling about her in judgment that people had. Judgment that people had about her. Now she grew up and she had a very rough time growing up, being judged, etc. And so going into it, her energy was quite broken. There were a lot of fireworks, explosive things, and I think that fueled also her music because, again, of judgment. Now, we get judged twice. So if you are somebody that's very open-hearted and you keep getting judgment after judgment after judgment, I think part of that fueled some of her drug use, okay? That usually, when they're taking a lot of heroin and things like that, they're trying to escape something, trying to cover it over. And last thing I get was she was in this battle, okay? With this, the fox is usually this kind of sometimes caustic type of things. Again, we have foxes here fighting, and she felt pushed to the edge. And I can understand that in her life, that, if you're really open-hearted and you have that gentleness in you and you continue to have this judgment. And I think she just wanted somebody in her life to love her, to accept her. And so she just had a really difficult time. When she passed, it was from a heroin overdose. Now, I don't think she did it on purpose. But again, I think she's trying to escape these judgments and things that she had. Now, you could be a great talent and yet still feel very, how do I want to say it? Just that depression of ego, okay? Now, when I went to high school, I knew a girl, the most beautiful girl you'd ever seen. She was it Cherokee? She had the most beautiful skin, beautiful cafe au lait type of skin and green eyes, blonde hair, bombshell figure, and she just always felt lesser than. And she was absolutely stunning, and she couldn't see it in herself. And so sometimes that happens with people when they've gone through so much judgment. I think the judgment with her wasn't being Native American, part Native American. And it just really had that effect on her that she couldn't see how absolutely stunningly beautiful that she was. And sometimes people will carry this for their lifetime, and it doesn't matter how successful they are, they always have this feeling of being lesser than, not accepted, judged, etc. And that's what I get with Janis. Now, I think I'm going to pull other cards and see if it's going to tell us anything else about her life. She was such a great talent. Let's see what it's about. So it's about agreements, okay? The agreements, and underneath of it, this manipulation, okay? The energy coming into it is trying to hold on, and then it could be also that she was holding on to, again, this judgmentalism, maybe agreement that she was feeling with the industry, that she was being manipulated in some way. She had the strong viewpoints. The challenge was in this dark illusion and not seeing from clarity, and being driven by that darkness, being driven by it. And this is something, again, that she had felt like she was struggling the whole of her life, okay? She was continuing to feel a struggle that she was battling her way through. So outside influences, we had this energy charging forward, and I think her schedule was difficult. When you're on the road all the time, it's not as glamorous as people think it is, because you're usually staying in hotels. You don't really get time to unwind. You're there, and the artists there were pushed, again, manipulated to do what they needed to do. So the manipulation thing, again, this is something she was holding on to. She had this close to her. Crossing it was the justice and this ending. She wanted things to, she wanted justice and wanted this to end, this feeling of judgmentalism. And again, underneath of it all, she was pushed to the edge and felt like she was out in the cold, that she wasn't accepted, okay? That she was ostracized in some manner, even though she was such a great talent. It was a very hard life for her. And again, she wound up dying from a heroin overdose. And it wasn't, I don't feel that it was intentional, okay? But again, when you have those kind of demons and you're running away from it and you have low self-esteem, it doesn't matter how popular you get. Sometimes that just is a driving force. Yeah. So at the center of it, I asked about her with that. Consuming her world, what was worked on, that she felt she was stealing something, the takeaway, that, and there are some people like that, again, no matter how great they are, they don't see it, okay? So sometimes they feel like they're getting away with something. Yeah. Just very sad. Okay. I asked how she is on the other side, and the first thing is coming out is the death, okay? And about her history that she saw and how things were manipulated, skewed, Okay, let's pull some other cards and see what else we have. So the history to her death was, again, she was in this toxic assumptions, okay, of judgment. Again, it's all about the judgment that she felt, and she carried that through her life. And then again, she got to the other side, resting. But again, part of the judgments was her mentally being repressed with some things. Because above it, she felt like there had been some loss because of her following that darker drama, that she was again trying to distance from. And above it all, it had to come to the point of seeing from a different viewpoint, because she had been so repressed because of her history, feeling manipulated, the judgments that were driving this darkened ideology. And I asked her about being on the other side. When she finally was able to see there, being able to see again from a different viewpoint, okay. But she looked back on all the stuff, and you come to terms with it. When you get to the other side, all of those things fall away, and you just feel yourself surrounded by that acceptance, love, all encompassing. And then you see the things that had driven you, and understand the things that you were experiencing at your time on earth. So on that note, I'm going to leave that here.